This video will demonstrate how to create a spacing constraint set and apply that spacing constraint set to nets or other objects in a design. In order to create spacing constraint sets, we need to be in Constraint Manager. A couple of ways we can do that. We can use the Constraint Manager icon, or since I know when I go right into the spacing domain, I will select Setup, Constraints, Spacing. This will start the Constraint Manager. We're in the spacing domain. So since I want to create a new spacing constraint set, I need to be in the spacing constraint set folder, which it is, but I always like to double check that. Make sure I'm in the all layers worksheet underneath of that. I'll come into the design name cell, do a right mouse button, create spacing constraint set, and we'll give it a name, hopefully something that's meaningful. Let's say 10 mil space. I picked that name because I want things to be 10 mils apart. I'll select on the line 2 cell and drag right until the very last cell I want to change. In this case, I will change everything including the min BB via gap. Notice the min BB via gap cell is now selected, so I will type in 10 and hit the tab key, and all my spacing rules are set to 10 mils. So now I have my 10 mil spacing rules. Next, I need to apply that rule to some objects in my design. I'm going to apply that to some nets. So I'm going to make sure I'm in my net folder. Again, I'll go to the all layers worksheet. I have a bunch of nets that start with Q. I'm going to select all these nets, and rather than trying to apply that individually, I'm going to do a right mouse button, create class, and we'll call that Q nets. Now to assign that, the easiest way is to come to the reference spacing CSET cell for QNets, left click there and select 10 mil space. Okay, expand that, you can see all of my QNets now should have any routing next to that should be at least 10 mils away. So let's see if that worked. Let me come down here. Here's a Q0, so that's one of my QNets. Let me route that up very quickly. Now here's a WStat. That net is not part of the QNet, so when I come up here and start routing, hopefully that spacing is 10 mils away. Let's do a display, measure, select from that C line to that C line. And you can see our air gap down here is now 10 mils. One last item to note, we don't have to put nets into a net class. If I wanted the AEN net to also make sure everything is 10 mils away, I could just go to that reference spacing CSET cell again for AEN, left click and select 10 mil space. Now all other routing will be 10 mils away from that net. This concludes the demonstration on creating a spacing constraint set and applying that spacing constraint set to nets or other objects in a design.